Hey, Vsauce! Michael here. Today we're going to find out if it is possible to build a time machine. Well, actually, it is. You don't need to build it. All you have to do is to go to your local museum in your local city, find a time machine, and just fix it. It's that easy. Well, we'll see you guys Wait. What do you mean that you don't have a time machine in your museum? And that this time machine is not real, it's animated and it's from the hit show Phineas and Ferb. And what do you mean that I should go on with the video and stop with this stupid act? Because it's not stupid. Or is it? Yeah, it is. I need to just continue. Sorry about that. I just didn't know that time machine didn't exist. But hey, my name is Itzan and welcome to my video. Now, this video will not be the same like my other videos, because I don't usually do this kind of videos. But because I did a really hard work on this project, I really wanted to do this video. So for start, I just need to say that I am a huge fan of Phineas and Ferb. Now, it's not surprising for the most of you, because you're also a fan of Phineas and Ferb. But still, Phineas and Ferb is an amazing show. I mean, the jokes, the writing, the songs. And I really love that every episode feels unique, even though every episode goes with the same formula. Did you know that many of the studios didn't want to make this show? It took 14 years to this show to get greenlit. I mean, come on, people! But still, it's an amazing show and I really love it. And one of the best episodes, in my opinion, if not the best one, is Summer Belongs to You. Summer belongs to you. Who said that? The story is great. The jokes are fantastic and funny. But after watching the episode for, I think, the 5th time, I started questioning the episode. Because Phineas says at the start of the episode that the trip will take 24 hours. And then when they come back to Danville, they will have a 15 hours day. Meaning that they will have a 39 day, almost a 40 day, when they come back to Danville. So, is it actually possible to do this trip? Well, actually, yes. Let's say this is you. This is the Earth. And this is the Sun. In theory, if you flew in the opposite direction to the rotation of the Earth, in the speed of the rotation of the Earth, you'll stay in the same place that you had started in relative to the Sun's position. It will seem that you have not moved, but the Earth will move below you. And after 24 hours, you will come back to the place you had started in. And then, after 15 hours, the day will end, and you will have a 39 hours day. That, again, is an almost 40 hours day. So then I thought to myself about the actual trip that they did in the episode, and came to another question. If you did the same trip that they did in the episode, will it be possible to survive it? I mean, they flew around the Earth in 40 hours and I think in insane speeds. So let's answer the question, even though I already know the answer. Is Summer Belongs to You possible? Okay, who's doing that? So first, we need to create a map of all the places they had been in, starting with Danville. And actually, this is really hard. In the show, they never said where Danville is in America. We know it's in America, but we don't know where. Well, looking through the Phineas and Ferb wiki, which thank you very much for making it, because without it, I don't think that I could have made this video. So, looking at the wiki, we find this statement. In the episode Phineas and Ferb, Summer Belongs to You, Phineas says they have 40 hours of daylight. They depart Danville westbound early morning shortly after 5 a.m. This would place their observed sundown after 9 p.m. the next evening, Sunday. This suggests that Danville lies far north and west in its time zone, like Seattle, Washington. Now, actually, there are episodes in the show that prove this statement to be true. For example, Meatless in Seattle. In this episode, we see that Seattle is not very far from Danville. And even though there are other episodes that contradict the first statement, because these findings come from the episode that I'm only going to talk about today, we're just going to say that for now, Danville is in Seattle, Washington. So after that, they went to Tokyo. From there, they went to Nepal, the Himalayas, where they found rubber bands, rubber balls, made with superstars and from there, they went. And from there, they went bouncing around the world. Which, at itself, it's a really good song. I really like it. But the places they went to from, I mean, look at it! Look at it! What? One thing that really angers me, that they went from Australia to Greece! To Greece! How? But if you look at the end of the trip, you can see that they actually made a really good ending. I mean, the countries that they went in the end of the songs really lead to France. And by looking at the wiki again, we can see that they did another list, putting the places that they were in the episode, and in it they also put Australia and Greece, which is... but still, this one makes more sense. So, after that, they went to France, and then they went to an unknown island, which they don't tell us in the episode where is it, and there's not a single thing in the wiki. So that's why I needed to find it. By looking at the episode, we can see that they go from France to the
Seine
river, go through the
Seine
river, and then when they get out of the
Seine
river, they just go straight up the North Atlantic Ocean to the island. So by doing that on the map, we get to the islands of Newfoundland, which actually looks a lot like the place we see in the map from the episode, and B, it goes straight from following the direction that the episode tells us to go. Go through the
Seine
river and then through the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm just going to say that this is the correct place. So from there, they went above New York and back to Danville in Seattle. And now we have all the places in the map. So, how are we going to find out if this trip is actually possible? Well, easy. What I did is I taken this map and divided up to 3 parts, and you will see why later. And I found it the average speed needed to fly each part in the time they have flew in the episode. And then I try to see if it is actually possible to survive the G-forces needed to get to that speed in 1 minute. And I chose 1 minute because... So yes. So, how we divide this map to 3 parts? Well, let's start with France. In France, when they go into the boat, Phineas says this.
It's 4 o'clock, we're in a baguette boat with a fuel tank full of snail grease.
From that, we have a timestamp that they were at France at 4 p.m. And do we know it's 4 p.m.? Because if it were 4 p.m. in Danville, it will be night in France. And we can see in the episode that this isn't true. So, by looking at the time difference between France and Seattle, we find out that when in France it's 4 p.m., in Seattle is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Meaning that because they started flying at 5 a.m., they went from Danville to France in 2 hours. Which makes no sense. I mean, really, 2 hours? I know Phineas and Ferb doesn't make sense a lot of time, but 2 hours? 2 hours? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? But, because the trip took more than 24 hours, we can just say that they flew from Danville to France in 26 hours, which makes more sense. So now, all we have to do is to measure the distance from every point from Seattle to France in the trip. Let's do it! After we find the total distance, we're going to divide it by the time of the trip. That is 24 hours. And I know that I say that the trip time is 26 hours, but because in the 26 hours time from Danville to France, they stopped in Japan, the Himalayas, and France. So I estimate that it took about 2 hours in total, all the stops that they did. Like, I mean, it's maybe took 15 minutes to put the gas, 45 minutes in Nepal, and an hour in France, making the total flight time 24 hours. So, by adding it all up and dividing it by 24, we get... I can't see because it's not really there, so I'm just going to read from the script. 5,744.926931 kilometers per hour. Now this speed takes into consideration the takes off and the landings that they did in the trip. And this calculation was made by my good friend Ofek Tevet, which I really need to thank him, even though I don't really know what he did. But he told me that this calculation makes the speed more realistic. I hope he didn't lie to me. Now, what we have to do is to take this speed, which I'm not going to repeat, and put it in this formula. This formula will calculate the g-force needed to get to this speed in 1 minute, because... So, the starting speed that needed here is 0, because they didn't flew. From there, the end speed is this, the average speed that we found. And lastly, the acceleration is 1 minute, giving us... Again, I can't see, I'm just going to read from the script. 2.17 G. Hey, hi, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's Nitzan from the future, you can see because I'm wearing a different shirt. I just wanted to say that this Nitzan is wrong when saying that the G-force is 2.17, because if you can see here, I wrote 2.71. which is the correct G-force that you get from doing the calculation. So just know that I'm saying it wrong. And you will see it again later, that I will say it wrong again. Let's continue with the video. Now, 2.17 G, like I said, is actually a G-force that a human can stand. The average human can actually tolerate between 3 Gs to 5 Gs, which makes the first part of the trip possible. Yay! But we didn't finish, because there is the other part that we need to find out. So we're going to divide this part into 2 parts, because when they went to the island, we get the second timestamp in this clip.
And we've got about, I'd say 11 minutes. Isabella grabbed Madagascar.
So we know that they left the island about 11 minutes before sunset. So by looking when the sun sets in Newfoundland on the 20th of June, the longest day of the summer, we get around 9 p.m. And by looking at the episode, we can see that what happens in the island is that they land on the island, try to find a solution to the problem, Phineas digs a huge hole and then gives up, and then we get to the 11 minutes mark before the sunset part. So I will estimate that they were on the island for around an hour, which makes sense with the huge hole that Phineas digged. I mean, everyone can dig, I think, this hole in 1 hour, and because in average it takes about the sunset to at least set in 1 hour. So they landed on the island at 8 p.m, which in Seattle is 5:30. So they sail on the river and the sea for 8.5 hours. So what we have to do is to go through the river and then straight to the island. And then we get the distance that they sailed. So Ferb, I know what I should have made the joke earlier. Fuck! Never mind, let's just calculate the length. Now I should say that even though I should take into consideration the pullback of the river, I couldn't find how I can calculate that. So let's just say that because the engine is very huge and very powerful, I mean,
Hold on to something.
let's say it cancels the pullback of the water. So at the end, we get this, and dividing it by 8.5 hours, we get this, which again, I don't know because I can't see, so I'm just going to see what I've written in the script. That is 493.76 for 59 kilometers per hour. And putting this speed in the G-force equation, we get this G-force, which is 0.23 Gs, which again, it's another G-force that the average human can survive. So now we just need to do the last part, which is very easy, because all we have to do is subtract the times that we found it by 39 hours and find the distance between the island to Seattle, including New York, and dividing it by the time we found it. So we take this. I know that I can read this in the script, but I don't think I read it too before, so I'm just going to say this, and you just need to read, and divide it by 4.5 hours, which gave us the speed of 1272.267685. Really, Nitzan? Really? Yeah, I know, the same mistake. This is correct, this is not correct. I know I got an haircut, I will talk about it later. See you later. Kilometers per hour. And for the last time, putting it in the equation gives us 0.6 G, which once more is possible to survive. So yes, by my calculation, the Phineas and Ferb Summer Belongs to You trip is possible. Yay! Hi, hello. Sorry to interrupt, it's Nitzan from the future. You can even see that I had a haircut. I just wanted to stop the video because at this part I was supposed to tell you that the calculation that I did in this video may not be 100% correct. Not that they're wrong, it's just that I think the calculation are not taking into consideration the events of the video. For example, in bouncing around the world, I didn't want to calculate the bouncing. So I just said that they flew to that country. So this is what I was supposed to talk about, but when I was reviewing the clip, I couldn't understand what I was saying, and I didn't know how to edit that it will sound better. So we're just going to skip it. Let's do it. Go. Okay, stop here. And just enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you. So this is why I want the film theories to give it a try. I really love film theory and game theory, and I watch the episodes every week. I mean, I even brought this shirt and the bag, which I'm going to wear this shirt because I'm too lazy, even though it's hot in here. So this is why when this video will be uploaded, I'm going to also put it on the Game Theory subreddit or Film Theory subreddit and on MatPat's Twitter. Also will be attached the Word document that I wrote all my findings and a link to the map that I've created, so you can also see the work that I did. So if you enjoy this video and you want to see maybe MatPat give it a go, please let him know about this video by upvoting it or Reddit or sending them in Twitter. It will help me a lot. And I think it's a very interesting subject that not many people have talked about. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. I want to thank again to my friend Ofek Tevet for helping me with the calculation of the findings in this video, and also to my good friend, the best around, who did an amazing job with this script, Aviv Bendel. I didn't write that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next. Wait, I don't think I can say that. So let me try another thing. But that's just a theory. No, this is MatPat, and I want him to like me. So leave the answers in the... No, this is... Curse you, YouTubers, for stealing the outros!